Breaking news coming out in the past couple of hours that Donald Trump has requested military aircraft and vehicles amid Iranian threat. But this is not just Donald Trump. We're hearing that the entire United States is under the threat of potential attack. As take a look, the FBI just recently arrested an Afghani man who officials say was planning an election day physical attack in the United States, planning to wreak havoc on Election Day. Now, take a look at the headlines coming out in just the past hour. Trump campaign ramps up efforts to protect and get ex-president more security amid the ongoing threats in Iran. I'm going to be giving you the latest details. And take a look, as I mentioned, it's not just him. Iran has a hit list of former Trump aides. The U.S. is currently scrambling to protect them. But it's not just physical attacks either. There is also cyber attacks that we are hearing are coming. We've been hearing these warnings from quite some time. FBI Director Wray letting us know that there are 3 Iranian nationals that have been indicted for hacking operations aimed at influencing the U.S. elections. Cyber attacks and physical attacks we're hearing are coming, and here's another one. Back in August, we heard that there was a Pakistani man that was charged with a plot against U.S. politicians, potentially also including Donald Trump. There are sleeper cells here in the United States that are planning physical attacks on U.S. soil. And take a look, you guys, as of today, October the 11th, 2024, we are 24 days away from November 5th, the presidential elections. And this going on while there is still conflict in the Middle East. We're hearing that Biden, Netanyahu, they're currently speaking. Israel is vowing a lethal retaliation against Iran for that October 1st ballistic missile attack of 181 missiles being fired onto Israel. We're hearing there will be retaliation. They're saying it will shock the world. Iran saying if this unfolds, Israel and the United States will be held accountable. Now, I'm going to be diving into the latest details. I'm going to cite all these down in the description below, try to hold myself accountable to the community so you can see all the sources, put it on the screen, read right from it so you know it is the latest. And if you appreciate that, do me a quick favor, hit that like button. Just takes a second, spreads this out further. Subscribe to stay up to date. It's totally free. Why not? Just takes a second. Make sure you're staying subscribed. A lot of people letting me know that they believe some YouTube settings have unsubscribed them, so make sure you're subscribed. Turn the notification bell onto all so you're notified right away. And also, we've got a video sponsor that's going to be helping you out if you are a small business looking for some additional help. But more on that in a second here later on in the video. But let's dive right in and get you caught up on the latest, because there is a lot going on to make sure that you and your family are aware and staying safe with everything taking place. Let's dive into the articles and get you caught up on the latest. But first, a word from today's video sponsor, Reigns. Now, if you own a business, you know how challenging it can be, especially when it comes to hiring and retaining good people. You spend endless time training them, getting them up to speed. How do you know that they're going to stick around and not just up and leave you after 6 months? Key employees are critical to the operations of a successful business. Many workers in the trades, for example, might get an offer to join a competing company. Their salaries are competitive, they have decent benefits, but they might not have any long-term incentive to stay. This might actually be you. Reigns helps businesses across the U.S. keep their employees through equity incentives. They simplify the creation and management of phantom stock and profit-sharing plans, helping businesses retain their key employees with owner-like benefits without the complexities of traditional equity. With Reigns, business owners can properly align incentives to keep their best people without having to give up voting rights or share sensitive information. It's easy to get a free 15-minute consultation to see what's best for you. Ask about their Mayor stock and their Mayor profit plan. And if you act now, Steve Ram fans get 20% off of their setup fee when joining Reigns. Visit www.myreigns.com/Steve to request a free consultation and to get your discount. All right, so as always, link in the description below to this article that came out just a couple hours ago that says Trump is requesting military aircraft and vehicles amid Iranian threat. This is specifically against Donald Trump. Now, this came out today and says Donald Trump's campaign requested military aircrafts for Trump to fly in during the final weeks of his campaign, expanded flight restrictions over his residences and rallies, ballistic glass pre-positioned in 7 battleground states for the campaign's use, and an array of military vehicles to transport Trump, according to emails reviewed by the Washington Post and people familiar with the matter. The requests are extraordinary and unprecedented. No nominee in recent history has been forayed around in military planes ahead of an election, but the requests came after Trump's campaign advisors received briefings in which the government said Iran is still actively plotting to assassinate him, according to emails reviewed by the Post and people familiar with the matter who spoke on conditions of anonymity to describe sensitive discussions. Trump advisors, they have grown concerned about drones and missiles, according to the people. In the emails over the past 2 weeks from campaign managers Susie Wiles and Ronald Rowe Jr., the head of the Secret Service, she expressed displeasure with the Secret Service and said that the campaign recently had to cancel a public event at the last minute because of a lack of personnel from the Secret Service, instead only putting Trump in a small room with reporters. Wiles said Trump's campaign is being hampered in its planning because of threats and expects to hold far more events in the final weeks of the campaign. She also wrote that the U.S. government has not been able to provide what the campaign views as an extensive enough plan to protect Trump. Representative Mike Waltz, a Trump ally who is on the House Intelligence Committee and the Butler assassination inquiry, wrote a letter to the Secret Service asking for military aircraft or additional protection for Trump's private plane, according to a copy of the letter reviewed by the Post. Now, Daniel Alvarez, a spokeswoman for Trump, declined to comment. Secret Service officials did not answer specific questions about the discussions with Trump's campaign, but a spokesperson said in a statement that Trump is receiving the highest level of protection. In a letter to the campaign, Rose said that the government is assessing what can be provided. Assistance from the Department of Defense is regularly provided for the former president's protection, to include explosive ordnance disposal, K-9 units, and airlift transportation. The Secret Service is also imposing temporary flight restrictions over the former president's residence and when he travels, he added. Additionally, the former president is receiving the highest level of technical security assets, which include unmanned aerial vehicles, counter-unmanned aerial surveillance systems, ballistics, and other advanced technology systems. Senior U.S. officials said that it is unlikely that the Trump campaign would be provided military planes based on the current intelligence. One official said that the other requests are being considered, but there are limitations on how many places the Secret Service can have bullet-resistant glass positioned at one time, and that glass is already being provided for his rallies. So this is specifically for Donald Trump, but as I mentioned, this is not only for him. We're also hearing warnings that the American people need to be vigilant as we approach the elections. Take a look at this article coming out from the Associated Press just a little while ago. The FBI arrested an Afghan man whose officials say was planning an election day attack here on U.S. soil. Now, the FBI arrested an Afghan man who officials say was inspired by the Islamic State militant organization and was plotting an election day attack targeting large crowds in the United States, the Justice Department said on Tuesday. Nasir Ahmed Tawahidi, 27, of Oklahoma City, told investigators after his arrest on Monday that he had planned his attack to coincide with the election day next month and that he and a co-conspirator expected to be martyrs, according to charging documents. Tahedi, who arrived in the United States in September of 2021, had taken steps in recent weeks to advance his attack plans, including ordering AK-47 rifles, liquidating his family's assets, and buying one-way tickets for his wife and children to travel home to Afghanistan, officials said. The arrest comes as the FBI confronts heightened concerns over the possibility of extremist violence on U.S. soil, the director Christopher Wray telling the Associated Press in August that he was hard-pressed to think of a time in his career where so many different kinds of threats were all elevated at once. So please be vigilant as we approach election days, because we're hearing these attacks are not only posed against Donald Trump or members of Congress, but also against the American people. Physical attacks and cyber attacks. And if you missed my most recent video, you're going to want to check it out, as we've heard that there has been a major cyber attack against the largest U.S. water supplier that is drinking water and wastewater servicing 14 different states. Now, at this time, it's an ongoing investigation, but they believe that the water is safe to drink. But this is impacting several states around the nation, and they've also paused their portal while they're investigating this cyber attack. And they're saying if you're late on your payments right now, there's no late fees, but they are still investigating this. And there's a lot of concern. Is the drinking water safe? They are saying yes. At this time, they believe it is. It is okay. But we will see as we approach elections what other potential threats could be coming. So please stay aware, stay vigilant, and I will be sure to keep you up to speed here on the channel. Now, to get more on that, be sure to check out this video right here next, as I covered it in detail for you. And also, like I said, we're 24 days away from elections. I'll be sure to keep you up to date here on the channel. But that is the latest. Thank you so much for joining me. Be sure to check out the video sponsor. Thank you to Reigns, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.